Tried to move my coffee maker. Forgot it was plugged into the wall. How you guys doing? You excited to be up on this Sunday morning? Kinda am. Cup of coffee. Very excited about something. I acquired my first bit of furniture. Oh yeah, right there. It's a chair. Oh, I don't know. Does an air mattress count as furniture? That's kind of nice. That's kind of nice to look up there. Look at the pretty almost sunrise. This is nice. This is nice. I might just sit here. Take a picture of me. This is beautiful. Bluish sky, lightning, east. Pretty coffee with Ken picture. Hold on a sec. I was at my sister's house. She passed a couple weeks ago, or a week ago. And we had the funeral service with the whole family there in Roscoe, Illinois yesterday. And I was talking about the furniture situation with my brother and my dad. My nephews and nieces were there as well. But my brother realized that there was a chair in my sister's bedroom that he was sitting on in the, last week as she was passing, that wasn't going to be needed. So he excitedly almost jumped up and went to the bedroom and got this chair and brought it out. I was super excited to see it. And honestly, I'm super excited to be sitting on it right now. It's really pretty. What a backdrop. I don't know how often we appreciate how pretty the sky is. We use editing and stuff to add nice colors or smooth out our skin but nature's pretty beautiful. And just the color, the blue in the sky and the, sun just coming up over the buildings in the back is so pretty. I am comfy, thank you. Hello, what scent is this candle? It's a warm apple pie. Thank you for asking. If you imagine, you can almost smell the warm apple pie from where you are right now. Oh, this is good getting started a little early today. Hello, Micheline. Had a residual cough for like 2 weeks. I was sick for like 5 days. Maybe it was a week and a half ago. And didn't feel very well. And still holding on to a cough. Sometimes it's hard to let go of things, even things like a cough. I'm holding on tight to this cough. But anyway, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Sunday morning. It is April 6th. It is 6:04 a.m. Happy Sunday. It's a little show I've been doing for quite some time. It is a show about me talking. It is a show about me sharing some feelings, kind of sharing the adventures that is life. I've made some questionable decisions. I think that's the most positive spin I can put on it. And has led me to have, I'd say, an extremely interesting life. Coming at you from Appleton, Wisconsin. I live in a one-bedroom apartment that I just moved into a little over a week ago. I'll give you a quick tour. There's my one-bedroom apartment. And I mean, well, there's the main area, the one bedroom apartment. The bedroom's over there, and the bathroom's over there, and the laundry room's over there. And really love it, even with its sparse furnishings. Or maybe because of its sparse furnishings. Sometimes, I don't know. You could look at this as bleak, but I look at this as an empty canvas waiting to be furnished, or just a new space for me that is barely moved into yet. And either way, I love my little home. And I mean, I really do. I've lived in a lot of nice one-bedroom apartments. This is about as, again, with this lofty, high-ceiling, beautiful eastern view, watching the sunrise. I think it's going to be really neat. I think it's going to be warm in here during the summer, though. As you know, I guess that's an eastern view, but even late morning when the sun's beating down through these huge windows, it's going to be like an oven in here. Don't know what to say about that. Maybe shut the blinds, turn up the air conditioning. Oh, yeah. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show about me talking. You know it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me, and I am so excited to take my first sip at this, early hour that I expected or really wanted. But here I am, and here you are, and here we are. So my only hope is that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, that you have a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. It's the Sumatra. It is the Sumatra. Hello. Good morning from Pennsylvania. Somebody is with the name of Unsustainable is saying coffee. It's a simple message, but a beautiful message. So I appreciate you all for joining. Oh, somebody from South Africa. Well, welcome from South Africa. How are you? What do I take in my coffee? I'm drinking it black this morning. Drinking it black. At home, I almost always drink it black. I talk about it a lot. The last thing you want as a coffee drinker is to get hooked on cream or half and half or whatever. Because occasionally you run out of that stuff. When you run out, you don't feel you can enjoy the coffee anymore. And you want to enjoy your coffee. So at home, you guys do whatever makes you happy, but I found myself running low on half and half or running low on creamer and in a state of panic because I didn't have it. And what was I going to do? Because it's easy to store up on a lot of coffee. You know, coffee's pretty cheap and the coffee filters and the water comes from your sink. So you're good to go outside of the half and half or whatever you put in your fridge. Which A, costs a little bit, B, has a fair amount of calories, and C, runs out. None of that is good. So I've learned to love my coffee black, where I drink it at home. Usually when I'm on the road, I'll pop in some cream. Now, I never put sugar. Michael says that makes sense. I will tell you what, I'm a little worried. My chair's squeaky. I don't want to make squeaky noises. I clip all these lives into reels and shorts and TikToks. I'm about 6 weeks behind in my editing. And 6 weeks from now, I'm going to learn that my chair was very squeaky. But I'm still thankful for my chair. Thank you, chair. It's nice to be able to sit in my kitchen on a piece of furniture with the lightning sky behind me. So let's have another sip of coffee. We've got a nice audience today. We're just getting started. and there's 24 people watching, but we already have 13 thumbs up. I'll tell you what, that's a heck of a solid ratio. We're very generous. And if you're new here, please subscribe. I have been doing my show about 6 years on one form or other, and it grows a little bit every day. And we're plugging through the 6,000 subscriber level on YouTube. It's funny because kids get so impressed. I mean, maybe I do. Maybe I'm just a big kid. I think I probably am a big kid, but again, I was with a lot of family yesterday, and my brother and his family came up from Texas, and he's got 2 older sons and a younger daughter. And I was talking to his daughter. She's 14, I believe, right now. And like a lot of kids that age, they're, I don't know, impressed by social media. And she did not follow Coffee with Ken on any social media platform. And she looked, and I think she was pretty impressed that I had like 35,000 followers on Instagram. And I go, I don't even know why. I don't even know why. And YouTube and TikTok as well. And I was asking her a little social media advice, although, you know, I've been doing it since probably before she was born. I don't know. They put a little more consistent or concentrated effort into it. I just go live for an hour every morning and throw up a few videos. But anyway, I think she thought it was cool that her Uncle Ken had a lot of subscribers. Sometimes I think that's cool. Hi, sir, I am new here. What's your content? Can you introduce me? I don't know what that means. Can I introduce you? My content is just a dude who happens to be 56 years old, who's twice divorced, who lives in a who'll live in various spots. If you watch long enough or you rewind, you'll see me in all sorts of different locations doing my show. But I put down, at least I feel I put down some roots in the last week and a half, and have signed a lease on a 1-bedroom apartment. I have a mailing address. I have a coffee maker. I have a nice view. I have a Coffee with Ken painting over there. I have high windows, high ceilings, a brick wall, a nice air mattress in my bedroom that I think I realized, I bought it like 4 days ago. For a while I was just sleeping on a foam mat with a sleeping bag over it. It honestly wasn't too bad, even at I don't know, my age or enjoyment of luxury, but it wasn't too bad. But either way, I was deciding on buying some furniture, and should I buy a queen-size mattress at this point, or should I just buy a big air mattress and use that as a guest bed when I upgrade to a regular mattress and save a little money? And I was talking to somebody at Walmart, and the woman and I conferred, and we both decided that the air mattress was the way to go. Save a little money so I can buy a little more furniture, and but sleep in some comfort, and then have a guest bed all lined up when I have any visitors. Hopefully I'll have some visitors. And the other day, when I got it, I filled it up, and I think you turn there's like an internal air pump on the air mattress. I think they're a lot better than the ones I used to use as a kid, and this is 24 inches tall, and it was on sale for like $70. But either way, the air pump's internal, and the cord comes right out of the mattress itself. And if you turn it all the way one way, it'll inflate. If you turn it all the way the other, the air will suck out. But somewhere in the middle, it'll leave the vent open and the air will seep out. And I think I might have been on that setting for a while, and it was deflating a little more quickly than it should have been. And I plugged it back in last night, filled it up, got the setting right, and I think it's staying nice and firm, so I'm excited to report that. Hello, BCLS, how are you? Hair growth tips, that's a good one. Hair growth tips, if your hair's thinning, shave it, will be my message for that. will be my message for you. Um, yeah. So anyway, it's Sunday morning. What do I think of the Trump administration? Vincent's saying he wants coffee now. How's the apartment coming along? It's coming along great. I've got a couple pictures on the wall. I've got my first chair. I've got a pile of boxes on that my phone is sitting on. The apartment's coming along great. I've been not here very often. I was working all day Friday from, I don't know, like 11 till 11 at night. And yesterday I was out of town. Out of town all day. I left here at 7 in the morning and didn't get back home till 9. And I can't tell you how excited I was to be back home. And get in bed. I don't know if it's because I'm old or I'm boring as crud, but it was like 9:30 last night. I got home about 9, took a bath, which I love, and was so excited I don't even have a TV in here, and was just so excited to get into bed on a Saturday night. I looked out my window and the world was out there, and I was happy with my world in here. Yeah. I don't know what that means, if that's contentment, being okay, where I'm supposed to be. But all of it felt real good. So I woke up this morning at 5, was a little earlier than I needed to, but laid there for a while, a little bit of time, edited a video, posted that video. It was on day trading or short squeezes. Debated whether it was worthwhile. I post such a random content on my videos. I think if I do it exactly the way I'm doing it now. If I was to start Coffee with Ken over, it'd be the exact same thing. Because I want to talk about whatever the heck I want to talk about. If I want to talk about the sunrise or my coffee or my apartment or Appleton, Wisconsin or candles, I'd like to talk about it. But I think the way, if you're really trying to grow your audience, it's to do a bunch of videos on a specific niche, any one of those things I mentioned. But this morning I came across one where I was talking about trading, and about a few years back when the GameStop short squeeze happened and the GameStop stock went from almost nothing to 50 or whatever it did. I posted that video and I was wondering who in my audience would find that interesting outside of the people that know trading or know investments or active investors. And I wasn't sure, because I get a lot of people that probably tune in for my calm voice or my good looks or my view, and they might not understand or might not care to learn about what a short squeeze is or, trading thoughts. But then I posted it anyway and said, to hell with it, let's just post what I want. Let's see, I'm trying to grow my I don't read that. You do intraday or long-term trading? I don't do any trading anymore. I used to. I have a finance degree, which I'm about to post a video on. Is finance a worthwhile degree at all? I'm not sure that it is. I mean, I have a finance degree, and well, look at me now. I'm right here. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, but it has nothing to do with finance. I'm not sure the finance degree is super valuable. We learned about the markets. But I think the real way to learn about the markets is get into the markets and lose some money. Yeah. And I did a lot of that. Give it another sip. Vincent says he knows nothing on trading. I don't know that you need to know anything on trading. It's nice to have I guess, I know stuff. I know about investments. I know about different accounts. I know stuff. But I don't have stuff to put the stuff I know to work. I don't have huge gobs of money. And if I did, what would I do with it? Would my finance degree help? Or would I take those huge gobs of money and invest aggressively? I don't know what I'd do anyway. Vincent's here for the eye candy. Well, you've come to the right place. You specialized in portfolio management or acquisition. I guess investments was I guess it was a finance investments degree. How do I think Trump is doing? Well, first of all, Trump's a big talk. I try not to watch the news. I try not to talk politics too much. But what the heck? You asked, let's talk. I'm not worried that the stock market's down a lot, or that the economy might be going into a recession, or that prices may be going up, or that China's mad, or that Europe's, or that world markets are plunging. I think all the stuff that is happening right now needed to happen. And I'm not saying the tariffs specifically needed to happen, but there needed to be some major rattling in the world markets and major rattling of the economies of the world, because it needed to happen. And I've been talking about it for several years. I'm not saying I'm smart. I'm usually right, but I'm always early. And since I usually don't have a ton of money, if you're right but early, it's just like being wrong, because I'd buy options on various thoughts of mine and they'd go to zero, and then I'd turn out right a month later. But anyway, since the markets in the world shut down 4 or 5 years ago during COVID, and I'm not going to get in a debate whether that was right or wrong, but personally, I just don't think you can do that. I'm a free market guy and a capitalist believer, and I was horrified, honestly, that the government was getting so involved in the way the world worked and the way we got to make our decisions, and whether we could go outside or go to school or go to stores, or what was a necessary job to do, and was so up our asses, for lack of a better word. Ideally, my thought is less government is better government. And never in my lifetime had I seen the government so involved in our day-to-day decisions on what we could and couldn't do, and what was allowed and what wasn't allowed, and whether we had to wear a mask or be 6 feet apart, or the stock markets could be open, or what stores could be open, and what was considered necessary to be sold. And because of that, in my mind, capitalism got broken. And in my mind, capitalism and relatively free markets are the engine that make the American system go and work. And we stopped them and said, no, capitalism, you can't operate freely. We're going to set these very strict rules on what can and can't be done. And honestly, it horrified me, and I didn't like it at all. And because of that, we paused the world economic system, or changed it, for, almost 2 years. I'm happy to say it's returned fairly to normal. But I don't think you can just flip a switch back on and turn the world on again. And people got used to working from home or social distancing, and you still occasionally will see people walking around in masks. And so I thought and have felt for the last 4 or 5 years that something was broken. And we got comfortable sitting at home having the government send us checks to stay at home. And that's a scary concept for me, because I don't want to rely on the government to stir the pot that is our economy. And it was for a couple of years. And because of that, I think there's going to be still ripple effects that we haven't seen yet. And maybe Trump getting elected is one of those ripple effects. And maybe these tariffs, I make no judgment on the tariffs. Again, I'm a free market guy. I'm anti-tariff generally. But something was messed up. And when you mess things up, I think sometimes you can't just clean them up. They got to go to where they need to go. And what we're seeing now with the stock market go down, I'll tell you what was the Dow down 2,500 points or something in 2 days, or was it 3,500, or I don't know. The S&P was down 10%, but I'll tell you what, the markets have done nothing but go straight up for the last 3 years. And if you look at a chart on anything, and I feel bad I'm talking a lot about the markets here, but if you look at the chart on anything, it's hard to tell which way you're seeing it. You're seeing stocks that went straight up for like 2-3 years, and stocks that tripled in value in 3 years' time. You look at any of the big tech stocks, and that's what you saw. And over the last 2-3 weeks, you're seeing a pullback to down about here. So they're giving up maybe 25% of the gains they saw over the last 3 years, but I'm not sure we're done. I'm pretty darn sure we're not done. I think we're going to see more pain in the markets. I think somehow, some way, and again, I'm not a doom and gloomer. I'm actually I think this needed to happen, and things needed to happen, and politicians with huge, crazy, maybe crazy ideas needed to get elected. And because the way we were going the last 4 years, I think, was in the wrong direction. So I think eventually it's going to reverberate into the real estate market. Something weird's going to happen in the real estate market. You know, I'm fortunate to finally have a 1-bedroom home, but I know a lot of people can't afford to buy a house right now. And, you know, we all need a place to live. Somebody says they're buying every week. Well, honestly, that's probably the best way to do it, is dollar cost average, and take 1% of what you earn and put it in a index fund over time. I think you're going to knock the cover off the ball. You're going to buy at the top, but you're also going to buy at the bottom. And my only issue with buying like an index fund would be, or an exchange traded fund, is getting juked out and watching the news and watching the markets. And if you buy the QQQ, and I don't have any idea what they're at, but let's just pretend they're at 40 now, and they go to 50, you might think, wow, I made good money, I should sell. Or if they started dropping, or the market started dropping, you might cash out your portfolio. And I don't think cashing out your portfolio is smart. The reason you have a portfolio is to weather the ups and downs in the market and get a good return over time. Honestly, yeah, I almost think trading, at least if you're trading, you better know you are. And trading is close to gambling, which is okay if you're willing to take that risk. But if you think you're doing it for a long-term strategy, you're probably making a mistake. Let's see. Once interest rates go down, things will turn around, said Marcus. I'm not sure interest rates are going down. I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. Without technical analysis, you're flying blind, especially if you follow news or social media. I kind of agree with that, Gord. I think technical analysis sees things that you can't possibly see if you're reading earnings or revenue or what have you. The one type of fundamental analysis that seems to work, I don't know if you guys are old enough to know, and I feel funny talking this much about the markets, but again, I think my Coffee with Ken show just goes wherever it goes, and for whatever reason, I'm talking the markets right now. If you guys are old enough to know about who Peter Lynch was, and for anybody young, probably thinks he's just some old crazy fogey, but he had kind of an attitude of investing in companies you find the old-fashioned way. If you go to a new store and you see it crowded and you see good value and you enjoy shopping there, you do a little research, you find out that store is actually a publicly traded company that just came out a year or two ago. You buy the stock because you think you saw its business, you experienced its business, you enjoyed its business as a customer. I think that's the one kind of fundamental analysis that works a little bit. And I got a story about that from 35 years ago. There was a tiny little Minnesota-based electronics company that based, like I said, out of Minnesota, named Best Buy. And I'd never heard of it at the time, and I was moving into a new apartment in the city in the early 90s, and I was with my girlfriend at the time, and I was looking for a TV and some other stuff, and there was a grand opening in where I grew up in the western suburbs of Chicago, this Best Buy store, and I wanted to check it out, and I was blown away. It was one of the newer warehouse concept stores that I'd experienced, with kind of a, non-finished interior, and TVs and computers or whatever they were selling at the time were stacked up in a low-cost way, but a easily accessible way to the customer, and it was a great shopping experience, and there were huge crowds. And I was a new stockbroker at the time. I did a little research. I realized what Best Buy was. I realized they were expanding to Chicago and other markets. And I bought a bunch of the stock. I ended up gathering 5,000 shares and made a ton of money on it. I think if I'd still be holding it today, I'd probably still be doing great on it. I mean, I don't honestly watch the stock anymore, but I held it for 5 or 10 years and knocked the cover off the ball. That's my story about Best Buy. Do head massages feel better when you're bald? I don't know. I don't get a whole lot of head massages. Hello from the Philippines. Thank you for tuning in. What a kind and fun audience we have today. We've got 47 people watching. We got 24 thumbs up. Hopefully we picked up a few new subscribers that aren't totally hooked on the investment talk, because my show's not all about investments. We can go wherever. I used to talk about mental health and sobriety. Those used to be kind of the cornerstones of my show. I rarely talk about sobriety or even mental health right now. I rarely think about not drinking or drinking, depending on how you look at it. I haven't had a drink in about 3.5 years, or smoked any pot in about 3.5 years. I used to do both every day. Used to struggle with sleep. Was super duper anxious. Went through a divorce a few years ago. So these are all topics I can bring up and talk about, but they're not top of mind right now. Nice views and furniture shopping and coffee. Hey, John, you're just tuning in. John B., I think you're a market guy. I just finished a long talk about the stock market. Mary Jane subscribed and likes me. Well, thank you. What am I drinking? I'm drinking coffee. Somebody said I look nice. Well, you should have seen me yesterday. I had a button-down shirt and a sport coat on. was kind of interesting. It was a Perry Ellis coat. I think I've had it a while. Maybe I didn't notice. But in the inside of the coat, there was a little plastic bag hanging down from the pocket or the tag or whatever. And it had a little couple buttons on. And I'm wondering, have I been wearing this coat for years with a little plastic bag on the inside with 2 buttons? So I tore off the plastic bag, and suddenly I'm sitting there holding a plastic bag with 2 black buttons going, what am I going to do with these buttons? I wish I still had my screw can. I'm going to have to get a metal coffee can with a lid, a plastic lid, so I can start throwing my odds and ends, screws and buttons and nails and random things that you don't want to throw out because you might need someday into a big can. Where do I live? Where do I live? My struggle is wanting a drink after a long day. Okay, well, Blake, I think you used a key word there. I live in Wisconsin. I live in Appleton, Wisconsin. Blake, I think you touched on something on sobriety that I think is really important, the way you phrased that. Is you said you want a drink after a long day. I think using the term want is the key to your freedom from alcohol. I think the people that are slaves to alcohol talk about it being a disease and talk about alcoholism and honestly AA. That's right. The people that are slaves to drinking talk about AA, talk about it being a disease, and talk about being an alcoholic. Blake said he wants a drink after a long day, and I'm not making fun of AA or people that think it's a disease or say the word alcoholic. But I think by Blake saying he wants a drink after a long day, I understand. If you want to drink, it's going to be really hard to stop drinking. But at least when you say you want to drink, you're acknowledging that it's a choice you can or cannot make. And if you choose to drink after a long day, I guess stop kicking yourself. You want to drink, then drink. Maybe stop feeling guilty about it. You know? Why are you going to really stop something you want to do? How are you going to stop something you want to do? I think the key to stopping drinking is wanting to stop drinking. And Blake, if you want to drink after a long day, maybe just do. Maybe just do. Have a drink and lose the guilt. Because until you don't want to drink, you're never going to stop. Why would you? Really? The reason I was able to stop is I wanted to stop. Vincent said he lost his mother at 48 to liquor. You're spot on, sir. Stay strong. Well, thank you, Vincent. The medical community totally disagrees with me, and huge swaths of society totally disagree. But by any standard, I think anybody on the outside would have called me an alcoholic for most of my life. I was drinking every day. I had a history of drinking issues in my family. But one day I said, screw this. I'm not going to have a drink today. Let's just see how it goes. And honestly, that next day was horrible. Comically horrible. It spiraled. But I said, well, that wasn't not drinking alcohol's fault. Let's not drink again tomorrow. Let's see how that goes. And I'll tell you what, it's not been an easy road, but it's been a better road without alcohol. Because if I would have kept drinking over the last 3.5 years, I promise you, I wouldn't be in this cool apartment. I wouldn't be sitting here drinking some coffee. I have a beautiful view behind me. I have a job I love and going in a direction I want to be. I would have been basically where I was, drowning my sorrows and feeling bummed out that I'm hungover every day. Can you please pick a WWE wrestler? No. I don't watch the WWE at all. Hold on, let me heat up my coffee. You guys just sit there. By the way, I had a friend paint this for me, so for anybody that wants to throw my friend a little love, I was super excited to put it up on my wall. Don't worry, I'm still here. Just getting a little warm up in my coffee. Hey, Chip, what do you think of my furniture? I see you there, Chip. They will give them liquor in the hospital. It's ridiculous. True treatment is literally from the 40s in God. Let's see. They give them liquor in the... I'll get a lot of people that say, oh, you can die from cutting alcohol cold turkey. And maybe you can. But I think that if it's we'll call it a fact. Let's just take the argument out of it. That fact, and it's probably 1 out of 1,000,000 people that die from quitting alcohol cold turkey. It probably is 1 out of 1,000,000. And so many people die from their liquor or their liver rotting away from alcohol poisoning. So I'd quit cold turkey. I don't give a dang what anybody says. You know, if you need liquor, if you are going to die from quitting cold turkey, I'm telling you what, your timeline isn't very long. You've done some serious damage to your body already. Yeah. I'd like to tell you to consult a doctor, but I don't even know if that's a good way to do it. Because like Vincent said, they'll give you alcohol in the hospital. I mean, I didn't even know that, but that just seems crazy. That just seems crazy. I mean, I still have a soreness in my organs. There's still a little sore spot down here. I don't know if it's my gallbladder or my liver or whatever from drinking. I was fortunate to stop. I think people think the fact that that others keep drinking even though they know it's going to kill them is proof of alcoholism. I think we all know we're going to die from something, and some of us are just okay drinking ourselves to death. I think that was my choice that I was making, that I was looking at life as not worth living without a beer in my hand. So I was just going to keep on drinking and kick the bucket at 65 or whatever. Decided to get a little fight in my spirit and stop drinking and see what I could do. Your mom got a beer a day while in the psych hospital in the 80s. How many beers did I drink daily? I say like 6 to 8, not like a crazy amount. I mean, I think that's a good amount of beer, but I know there's people that drink bottles, you know, probably 2 bottles. I mean, I don't even know. There's people that drink a lot more. I was fortunate enough never to really drink that much hard liquor. Because if you drink hard liquor, you can, I don't know, get stupid drunk, stupid quick. Yeah. Because alcohol's just poison. It's poison that gives you a warm, fuzzy feeling for a little bit, but it's still poison. I mean, how many times did I throw up? How many times did I black out and not remember coming home? How many times did I do things that I was embarrassed of or wet my pants? I kid you not. I mean, I'd pass out on the couch. I don't even know if I peed my pants, but I certainly would have a beer bottle in my hand and fall asleep, and the bottle would tip over and wet the couch, and wet my leg, and that's not a good feeling. Oh, Ronnie said been through a hard time, and they're giving their pain to their Lord and Savior. That's probably a good idea. Let's see. Somebody said, is 2 glasses of wine daily considered alcoholism? Well, again, I don't even believe in alcoholism, so don't ask me. I think it's funny to say that. Yeah, I don't believe in alcoholism. I believe in personal responsibility. And if you say you are an alcoholic, you're saying you don't have any ability to stop. I don't understand what that means, because you're going to have to stop one way or the other. It's whether a doctor's going to sell you medicine or therapy to do it or not. But I think at the end of the day, you have to make a choice to stop. And you have to stop making excuses for your drinking. Might be tough love, but I think it's true. So I don't know if 2 glasses, is 2 glasses of wine daily considered alcoholism? Again, is it a problem? I don't know. 2 glasses of wine, is it really only 2 glasses of wine? I'm sure there's a lot of people that drink 2 glasses of wine a day and probably do fine. But for me, I wasn't 2 beers a day at all. Yeah, so I'm going to take another swig of my coffee. How do I highlight somebody's username? I make them a moderator. Hangovers aren't enough to make people stop after 40. For most of us, we're not. Again, I felt crappy every morning. I didn't drink to the point of being really hungover, but I drank to the point of my sleep being messed up with and waking up at 2 in the morning and feeling anxious thoughts and having the chemistry messed up in my body and not getting a good night's sleep and not getting into REM sleep and feeling crappy and kind of walking through the day feeling crappy, wondering when I'm going to start drinking so I feel better. I'll bet you a lot of people go through that don't drink multiple bottles of booze every day. People that disrupt their sleeping patterns by drinking 2 glasses of wine a night and kind of feel a little bit crappy when they're not buzzed. Wesley said they were whiskey hard all the time. Dale Caruso says, you a drug addict of coffee. I'm not. I don't have the craving all day to drink coffee. I might drink coffee all day, or I might not. But whether I am drinking coffee or not, I'm just telling you, for a guy that craved alcohol and craved weed all the time, I know the difference in feeling. If I put this coffee down and went about my day, I wouldn't be sitting here wondering all day when I'm going to have my next drink of coffee. But if I took a hit of marijuana right now, and I was a few years ago, I'd go, wow, that feels good. And all day I'm wondering when I'm going to have my next hit. And I'd be doing it all day and chasing a high that I couldn't get anymore. Do I smoke cigarettes? No, I don't. Somebody says they wake up early, have a great job, a great house, a great family, 2 glasses of wine is fine. All right. Oh, let's see. Booze can help people that are going through mania. It calms them down. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't calm them down. That's like saying a baseball bat to the side of the head calms them down. Seriously. Somebody said booze helps people calm down. What's my opinion on vegans? And do you think those people shouldn't buy items made by modern? I don't know if vegans have anything to do with iPhones, so I'm not going to say. I'm glad I couldn't date a vegan. I think a vegan is almost an activist position in something, in a belief, versus a vegetarian just doesn't want to eat meat. A vegan wants to tell you about it. Well, my coffee's nice. The sun is coming up over the buildings now, and my body is throwing a shadow on the wall over there. It is almost 7 o'clock on Sunday morning, and looking forward to my day. I woke up earlier than I needed. It's going to sound crazy, but I might go back to bed in a little bit, get a little more rest. I got a big day today. I would like to work out. I'd like to go to church. And I'm working tonight and looking forward to that. There's something calming about having a job and knowing what you need to do. And for most of my life, I didn't know exactly what I needed to do. I knew I was in sales and I knew I needed to sell more. But how to accomplish that was never so obvious to me, especially as a realtor. I couldn't figure out exactly what worked. No matter what I did, I never had huge success. I had to almost imagine I was moving forward each day. But tonight I'm going to go to work, I'm going to make some money, I'm going to feel productive, I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. And there's something peaceful about knowing that and not having to worry, is it worthwhile to host an open house or to door knock or to cold call or to do all this stuff. I know when I go to work tonight, I'm going to be productive, I'm going to make some money, and I'm going to leave feeling tired, and I'm going to come home and I'm going to take a hot bath and I'm going to get some sleep. Haven't slept much the last couple days. Been kind of an emotional couple days, but a good couple days. Again, I talked about it. My little sister passed a couple weeks ago, and she had breast cancer. And I'll tell you what, I'm drawing some inspiration from her and her positive attitude she had, and her faith and her belief and her gratefulness and her gratitude and her good spirit. Yeah. And we had the service for her yesterday, and there was a huge turnout. It was really beautiful. I didn't know my sister had this many friends. She had so many people coming from the churches she'd gone to and the Bible studies she'd gone to. She even had a kid show up that I hadn't seen in 35 years that we used to run with together. And it was so neat. And he said he wouldn't miss it for anything. And I was going, wow, I haven't seen you in 35 years. it was neat seeing the impact my sister made on people and hearing the words that were spoken. She was a good person. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. Good morning, June. Yeah, I do have a pretty view this morning. Blue sky's nice. The sun's coming up. It's nice. I'm telling you, it's a really cool apartment. Somebody said, "Don't let the love die." I'm picturing my sister's picture by the side of the casket, and she has a big smile. There were a bunch of pictures. It's so funny. She was 3 years younger than me, and so we were kids in the 80s, you know, in high school in the 80s. And hairstyles were so different, and she looked so different, and I looked so different. I had hair. Yeah. Oh, the YouTube kid's back. Dark brew, a fragrant warm embrace, a morning ritual, time and space. The beans once kissed by sun's bright ray, now wake the soul and start the day. A steaming cup, a rich delight. Somebody named High Paranormal is saying, so being in sales, how do you feel about swindling people out of their money? Well, I'm going to guess that High Paranormal has a very cynical view of life in his or her life and the world. I wouldn't say sales is swindling people out of their money. I'd say that's an amazingly cynical way to look at something. Thank you, Kane. Somebody's saying they hope God blesses me. God has blessed with me, with everything I want. I think the easiest way to get what you want is be happy with what you have. Be happy I have a pretty view, a hot cup of coffee, a cool picture, and a candle behind me. And a job I love, and a Coffee with Ken show that's growing, and yeah. What is my favorite brand of beer? Well, it was Heineken for sure. I think I was a Heineken-aholic a little bit. So. Don't really have much food here. I might have to add to my busy day, go to Aldi or go to the grocery store. I look around, I have some apples. Apples don't really fill you up. I'm feeling kind of hungry. It's sometimes hard to go back to sleep when you're hungry. Might eat an apple, try and get some sleep, realize that if I am able to sleep and I am hungry, I'm going to lose a little weight over the next hour or so while I'm sleeping. Get up, go get a quick workout, maybe catch the 10:30 service at my church, and I don't know, drink some coffee later in the day and edit some more videos, post some more videos, have a great night of work tonight, and come back, take a hot bath, and start it all again tomorrow. It sounds almost like a perfect day for me. And looking forward to it. But first thing I'm going to do is finish up my coffee, say goodbye to you kind folk, go lay back in bed and see if I can drift off for a while. Yeah. So it's Sunday morning. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I don't know, hope you had a great night's sleep. Hope you're enjoying the sunshine or the weather outside, whether it's sunny or rainy. And I want to thank you so much for joining today. If anybody new here is just tuning in, please subscribe to my page. It grows a little bit every day. And I have a lot of fun doing it. I go live every morning, usually talk for about an hour while drinking some coffee, and I talk about random things. And again, have some fun doing it. So I appreciate you guys so much for joining. Again, I hope you're having a great, great weekend. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.